Welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Friday, everyone. This is our final Friday before Christmas, and
right.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm joined today by my good friend and one of my favorite people ever, Vanessa Fox.
Aw, thank you, Rand.
And
You're
Vanessa,
my favorite people too.
That's very sweet. So, Vanessa, why don't you tell folks what are your two roles currently right now?
My two roles. Well,
two primary roles.
My first primary role is that I have to feed my cats all the time. Mm-hmm. Those cats, you've seen them, they're very fat, right?
One of them is particularly overweight.
So they're hungry a lot. So I do a lot of cat feeding. My other role is I've been napping a lot.
Napping?
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah. Oh, well, what else am I doing?
I think technically you're an entrepreneur in residence, which means you do all sorts of fancy things for Ignition.
Yes, so I'm working with a local VC firm who you may know, Ignition.
How would I know that?
I don't know, but I feel like perhaps you've heard of them.
By the way, Michelle agreed to come on and do one of these.
Awesome.
So at some point we'll actually have her.
Michelle, you may not know, works at Ignition.
Yes.
And is a fine partner, venture investing mind.
Absolutely.
So,
and then your second role, you're working with Danny Sullivan and the crew over at Third Door.
Yes, I am. I'm the features editor at Search Engine Land, and I just started both of those things, so it's hard to really say exactly how to go. I actually did an interview with Leanna Evans that just got posted last night.
This morning.
So she was asking me what a typical day is for me, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any typical day. I have no idea what that would be like.
No typical days yet.
There's no typical days, yeah. So yeah, with the Search Engine Land stuff, it's pretty cool because there's search news going on all the time. I mean, it's not a 9 to 5 thing, right? So I get up in the morning and I kind of see what's going on.
But you're already very plugged into this world, and then you feel like you're even more so. So as the editor, are you responsible for some portion of news content, all news content?
So there's Barry Schwartz, right? And he's the news editor, so he's kind of responsible for all of the news coverage. So he makes sure he kind of pays attention to everything that's going on and makes sure that all of the news gets covered. So as the features editor, I'll be looking at sort of the longer articles, helping along with the columnists, and when there's sort of these longer analytical pieces. Trying to find writers. Well, not that it's hard to find them, right? There's a lot of great writers out there, but kind of scheduling writers, looking over the stuff they're doing, making sure that the stories, don't overlap and they're all sort of complementary, and then editing them, and then writing some of my own stories also.
Cool. And with the EIR stuff, the entrepreneur residence, what does that role entail? What is
Again, who knows at this point. So as you know, Ignition is really interested in the online space, and they haven't done a lot of that right there. They've historically done a lot of enterprise and infrastructure investments, and so now they're kind of really interested in the online stuff, such as SEO Moz. And so I've just started talking to some of the startups that they're working with, kind of see what they're doing, see what else is going on, kind of seeing what the market really needs in that whole space.
And are you planning to stay local for that, or are you going to be traveling around and looking at companies outside of the Seattle area?
I don't know. Could be so.
Well, if you have a startup and you want Vanessa to look at it, you should leave a comment.
Oh, absolutely. No. It's great. It's great. I've already been talked to a few people, who found out that I was there, and people have great ideas. There's so much stuff that's going on. It's really exciting right now. So it's
absolutely
great. Love it.
It's .com boom all over again. So today, technically, we are going to be talking about integration of vertical and alternative search results in the different search engines. And specifically, we're going to try and talk through things like how do we know, or how do the search engines try and make a determination about what's valuable to keep, what they should toss out, and what might be good things to experiment with in the future.
Right.
And obviously, I think you and I were commenting that while Google and Live maybe seem to be a little less vertical heavy in some areas, Yahoo and Ask getting heavier in others.
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of how the different things play out. So at SMX West, which is coming up in February, I'm organizing several sessions called Search 3.0. which are all about kind of this blended search, right?
Yeah.
So we have a video and images panel, a shopping panel, and we have several different sessions where we're talking specifically about kind of how to get your content in with these blended search results. And it's a great opportunity, right? Because you might have a video and a blog post and a news story and a regular web page about some kind of content, and you have the possibility of getting all that stuff right here on the same page, maybe. I mean,
So let me just I'm just going to use it since we have this fancy old whiteboard here.
We're using the green and red because it is nearly Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those Christmas-loving Jews. Like, I love Christmas, so.
See, I can tell that about you. That's why you picked up the red and the green.
So let's say I've got, my set of search results here.
Yep.
And I type into my search box, I don't know, what did I type in? Britney Spears video?
Because you love Britney Spears.
Which is
You're like a secret Britney Spears fan. See that context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, how I hate her. Let's see. So, and I do a search, and then at Google, what I'm seeing is like our standard kind of listings, our 10 little blue links.
Which is interesting because Google, of course, recently had this big universal search.
Right, where they said they'd be putting kind of like video search in here.
And so let's talk for a second about why that is, right? I mean, what I think a lot of search engines have found is that they have all these like tabs or links, whatever you might call them, to do a web search versus a video search, image search, but
right, so they might say up top here like video, image.
And those of us that know a lot about the web, have been on the web for a long time, I mean, that seems really obvious to us. But as it turns out, the ordinary searcher, like my mom, they don't even see those. They don't even know they exist. It would never cross their mind if they're looking for a video to do anything other than type Britney Spears video into the box.
So so a lot of times people in the search sphere will say like, oh my gosh, did you see that they changed products to shopping in one of these tabs? And what you're saying is these tabs, whether they're down here or up here, those are invisible.
They're pretty much invisible, right? I mean, people don't really understand that. The ordinary everyday searcher just knows that they type words into a box.
And then they're basically trained only to look at that.
And so the search engines, right, have started to pull in some of this other type of content into the regular search results, since they know that people aren't going out to these.
And this is really in the hopes that people are going to find this content and think, oh, I get a better result at Google or Yahoo or Amazon.
So you want to give them what they're looking for. I mean, if they're looking for a video, you don't want to make them go to the video tab. You just show them the video.
So let's say that I'm Yahoo and I throw a video in here. Yeah. How do I judge? What's a methodology for me to judge whether this is working well? Whether this video is a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's hurting or helping relevancy.
Right. So each of the search engines seem to do things in a little bit of a different way. Ask, for instance, we did this search. Ask has video results across the top of the page before they show the web results. Right. So in their case, it looks like they're saying, okay, we specifically know this person's looking for a video. So we're going to stick that at the top. Yahoo puts it in the middle. So it looks like what they're doing is they take the video that they have, look at it with all the other results that they have, and just figuring out what the relevancy is of those pages all together. Google and Live don't seem to be showing videos.
But they will both show videos for some
things. They'll show videos for some things,
in similar format to Yahoo.
So it looks like what they're doing is trying to figure out what's the relevancy.
Sure.
And so we talked a little bit about this, and so I think it was Marissa that said what they found is that people are so accustomed to this left-aligned text thing that they find now that when you put videos in, when you look at the heat maps of where people's eyes are going, instead of doing what they've done before, which is sort of scroll this, this list in terms of order, they jump right to wherever an image or a video is. And so they're not sure if it's that, well, that's more relevant, I was looking for a video, so I'm going to jump to it, or if it's just that video and images, your eyes are drawn to that, and people may be missing more, relevant results that were near the top. And so they've started to sort of experiment, because they don't want this to be, like a detraction from.
What's a metric to use there?
Well,
I heard you on the wireless back in 52, lying awake intently tuning in on you. If I was young, it didn't stop you